but as a moral matter, either it's morally righteous or morally erroneous. And saying that it's more immoral if you have more power, it seems to be fallacious. I think that the morality of it would be the same. The practical application of how bad it could be for society is what changes. For example,
No.
the homeless person on the street, it's as
Yeah.
immoral for him to be racist against black people as it is for the president of the United States. It's just far more damaging to the country for the president than the morality of it still the same. So I reject your premise. I think that the way that it would play out sort of practically would be worse if someone with power. So I don't think power necessitates the morality or immorality or the scale of immorality of racist beliefs.
So I'm guessing the debate is about like racism, you know, and maybe if it's the definition of racism, if it's prejudice plus power and all this stuff. Excuse me. I just know that Fatty like falls into that stuff. He views himself and black people as just victims, and they're victims of white supremacy. That's the impression I get every time I see him debate. And they're arguing about dog whistles. Like I'm tired of this concept of dog whistles. It's just an excuse to pretty much always vilify like white people. You know, so for instance, if a white person says I hate black people, well, that's racist, obviously. But if a white person says I don't hate black people, well, that's racist. That's like a dog whistle somehow. You know, it's a dog whistle. It's just a way for it's just a way to always villainize white people by saying, well, everything they say is pretty much racist because of the dog whistles. Even when they're not being racist, they're still racist because my dog whistle.
Would you also admit, though, while we're on the subject, that when you talk about Steve Bannon, Steve Miller being racist or Nazis or whatever, it's not that they're admitting it, it's that you're implying that they're dog whistling to it, but they haven't admitted it.
And that's the point.
How's it going, Marte? You pissed off Fatty, so he's temporarily banned me from his channel. That's funny. That it's funny. Was it after that whole debate, the whole like he's muting people or whatever? I wonder. That's funny. Good to see you, Marte, by the way. Hey Vic, I know you're trying to pick a new time for the daily stream. Try not to do it with the extravagances. Streaming. Some of our audience are also I kind of figured. I factored that in, but I'm just like, you know, I got like things I also got to do in my real life too. So it's I understand, like, no matter what, I'm going to be streaming up against somebody. Like when I was in my normal time slot at, 12:30 Eastern, I was going up against Jim Bob and Rob Noerr as well, you know. I'm always going to be going up against somebody. So it is what it is.
If I'm going to call myself a racist, can you call me a racist? Yes.
Sure.
It's my actions. It's not my words. I will not say I'm a neo-Nazi, but if I walk like one, I duck like one, and I have a swastika right here, I might be one of them.
Okay,
so
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
Please, let me just say this, right? Let me just say this. I look at racism on everything, sexism, whatever. Just like I look at everything. I'm a person that believes in pragmatism. If I know that most men are the homeless, if I know that most men are the one that commit self-deletion, if I know that most men are they going to be wrecked after divorce,
How's it
I will
going,
put
Justin?
measurements to make sure that those men are protected. That's we can kind of call it a benevolent type of sexism because it doesn't include women. But if you are actually bridging a gap and trying to make sure that these people have a fighting chance, I don't see no problem with that. So sexism a lot of times is negative, but sometimes it's necessary.
Okay, nonetheless, like, not to get off on that red herring, the reason that I bring this up is because I think we can talk until we're blue in the face that you're just wrong, that I think you can have the beliefs that Stephen Bannon and Stephen Miller have, and it doesn't make you a racist. And if racists happen to like those beliefs, I don't think that should be used to impugn them. But when someone admits to such as being a white nationalist like Richard Spencer has in the past, or admits to being like a leader of the KKK like David Duke, that's clearly worse. Having said that, did you speak up about Barack Obama taking pictures with Louis Farrakhan, a self-professed black nationalist?
If you have a problem with Farrakhan, it's totally fine. I don't have a problem with that.
You don't have a problem with Louis Farrakhan?
No, I literally said, if you have a problem with Farrakhan and you can prove that he's a racist, I don't have no problem with
it. Do you think Louis Farrakhan's a racist?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when
do you believe? No, don't stop there. Do you think Stephen Miller is a racist?
No.
What about Steve Bannon?
No.
What about Sebastian Gorka?
No.
Yeah, so Fatty, right when Rob was about to corner Fatty had a bust out. Go, no, stop right there, because Fatty would have had to admit he had no problem with Obama taking a picture with Farrakhan, even though he just admitted right now that he thinks Farrakhan is a racist.
Do you think anybody that Donald Trump is very close to him or is in his or in his circle is a racist? Anybody? One? Can you give me one?
Nothing.
How are we supposed to know that? Like, I'm sure Biden had people that were close to him that were racist. Obama, I'm pretty sure, had people that were close to him that were racist. George W. Bush probably had people that were close to him that were racist. Like, what kind of question is that? You know, I'm pretty sure Fatty has people close to him that are racist. Like, what's your point? Like, but he obviously associates Donald Trump with racism. So therefore, oh, but you don't think anyone that works with Trump with racism is racist? Don't you know that Orange Man bad?
That they've done publicly or the policy positions they've advocated for have shown that.
The difference between me and you. I'm not a debate, bro. I'm willing to concede on the points that you want to concede. You don't want to lose the debate, so you are willing to
what
say,
are you talking about?
Do you see any racists on the black
Spurg.
side? Absolutely, I do. Do you see any racists on the white side? I don't see. They didn't say it.
No. The difference is because I'm citing someone who's an openly admitted black nationalist, and you're citing people that are saying, well, because they're strong on the border, they must be racist.
No, that's not what it is.
And what policy? Let's take
Stephen Miller.
What policy is Stephen Miller advocating for that you think proves that he's a racist? We'll just take him specifically.
The Muslim ban, for example.
Okay, the Muslim ban that was suggested under Barack Obama. The countries that he suggested.
Did he imply actions speak louder than words? That's your words, Mr. Rob. You said 1 second. You said.
Man, Fatty just starts to spurg because he's got confronted with the truth. It doesn't matter though. You could say, well, actions speak louder than words. If I wrote down a list of like, okay, groups of people I want banned, right? Let's say blacks, Muslims, whatever. And then but I never implemented it. I just wrote it down, you know, and I was like, I want to ban these groups, but I never got around to it for whatever reason. And then someone else takes over and they see my list and they're like, hey, that's a good idea. I'm going to do it. Would it just be the person that implemented it, or would I also be racist because I'm the one that came up with the list? Like, you can't just deflect and be like, yeah, but he's the one who implemented it. Yeah, but Obama came up with it. Wouldn't you argue that both of them are implicit in this?
Actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
People on the Democratic side talk about it. He actually did it. You are proving the point that when you do it, there's different things that are different. So don't put them on the same side because one of them did it, the other didn't talk about it. Go ahead, you got this.
Okay, I'm saying that it's not a racist thing because clearly the side that you're thinking isn't racist in that way approved and suggested this would be a potential thing. I don't think it was a ban on people because they're brown. I think it was a ban on countries that they thought terrorism was coming from. Now, you might say, wait a minute, that's not good policy. You might say, wait a minute, those people happen to be of this ethnicity, etc. I happen to think that doesn't make them racist. And in fact, I think a religion's not the same of race at all. That doesn't mean that bigotry or bias against religion isn't something that we should be talking about. But your claim is specific that it's racist. I think there's far more example of actual racist policy that's been put by both Republican and Democrats, such as the Patriot Act, right? Like post 9/11, a lot of the investigations that occurred on mosques, that there was zero evidence that they were engaged in terrorism, I find to be despicable. Those were policies carried out under both George Bush, W. Bush, and Barack Obama.
Who created them?
It was created under the Republicans with the support of Democrats in Congress.
So there's the thing. This is what I'm talking about. Then we can talk about it. I don't think he's racist. I actually think he's a way of controlling even white people the most, because now you actually can control everybody without having a warrant. I think the Patriot Act is not a racist bill. I think the Patriot Act is an extension of the U.S. government unlawfully going against the Constitution. That has nothing to do with racism, in my opinion. It was just an excuse.
But the way that it was used was often done in anti-religious ways that were directed at Muslims, just like we saw under the Biden administration that there were anti-Catholic things that were suggested. Does that make it racist? Is it racist against white people because there was specific language and specific targeting of Catholic groups? I don't think so. I think that it's bigoted against the religion, but I don't think it's racist. Nonetheless, when I ask for specific examples of Stephen Miller being racist, you cite a Muslim ban that I don't even know how instrumental he was in. That was suggested by.
I forget where he's from. It's either Brazil or Portugal. It's one of theirs. It's one of those. That's what I want to know, Lady Balls. Is he American? No, he doesn't live here. Like I said, I always forget. I get it mixed up, but I think it's either Portugal or Brazil.
Republicans and Democrats, and it doesn't have to do with race.
Rob, do you remember when they leaked these emails, and inside of the emails it was I don't know, I don't remember what was the publications, but they caught hundreds of emails, and it was always quoting the like some white supremacists.
Who's he?
Like
Steve Miller?
Yes.
No, I don't remember that.
So go ahead. I'll actually.
Who was the white supremacist he was quoting? I'm interested. Go for it.
It was something. It was a group called something Renaissance, if I'm not mistaken. It was a white supremacist, like just right where this kind of connected to the alt right. And if Jake can actually go ahead and please verify it, there was a publication that was called something Renaissance that was clearly a white supremacist organization, and Stephen Miller was caught on his emails citing them a tremendous amount of times.
I mean, that means nothing to me. Like, there are people that
means nothing.
Well, how do I know that they're not You want me? Here's what you want me to do. One, you want me to take my word that your word that Stephen Miller quoted it. Second, you want me to take your word. This group is white supremacists.
American
Renaissance, by the way. What's that?
American Renaissance and V there. Like
okay, so I'm slightly familiar with VDare, and there's certainly people on VDare that opposes, like, I think Ron Unz was someone that posted, who happens to be Jewish, that oftentimes talks about how he thinks that Jewish people, and particularly the nation of Israel, have undue influence on the United States. But once more, we get back to the same sort of position, whereas one, are the people you're talking about openly avowed white nationalists, or are you going to say, well, they haven't avowed to be white nationalists, but they've said things that are dog whistles to white nationalists, and so they're Stephen Miller quoting him is now dog whistling to quoting someone who's dog whistling to white nationalism, as opposed to Obama being with Louis Farrakhan, who calls himself a black nationalist.
And there's the point, but that defeats your point, because directly Barack Obama didn't say nothing that was overtly racist, nothing that you can prove that is overly racist. He acknowledged race, but he never said something that is actually openly racist. So it's actually defeats your original point.
What is Trump say?
If you have to say something, Mexicans are rapists.
That's once more.
There's not
once more. Again, we're talking about division. You're citing examples that cause division in this country that were erroneous. Let me finish. You're citing examples that are flawed, that caused more division. No, what Trump said was they're not sending their best, they're sending rapists, etc. He didn't say that all Mexicans were rapists.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes. You could watch the freaking clip. That was the speech that made me start realizing that the media was lying. I'll never forget that. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, Donald Trump said the most racist speech ever. It was super racist. I can't believe what he said about Mexicans. And I was like, whoa, what did he say? And then I actually watched the speech and I was like, okay, what was racist about that? Why is everyone blowing a gasket over this speech? Why is the media saying that he said all Mexicans are rapists when he never actually said that at all? Like, that was what turned me around and started seeing the media manipulation. That began this whole my whole road toward where I am at today, was because when I saw that they said he said this, and then when I saw the actual speech and he did not say that at all, but there's still dummies like Fatty here that just believe it. Yeah, he didn't say all Mexicans are rapists. He said that Mexico isn't sending their best, that there's a lot of people over here that are coming over here that are criminals, that are rapists, I should say, that are grapists, what have you. That's what he said. Is that not a true statement? Are there not some Mexicans that are coming over here that are rapists? If we were mass migrating as Americans to Mexico, right? If we were all going over there and their president said there's a lot of Americans that are coming over here that are rapists, would that not be a true statement? That would be a true statement, right? So what's the issue here? The only people that believe that were dummies like you that just bought the media narrative. And then when proven time and time again that no, actually that was incorrect, you still double, triple, quadruple down because you've already been sold on the fact that Orange Man bad.
Yes.
So, okay.
You find me the quote of Trump saying all Mexicans are rapists. Go for it. I'll stop right now. I won't say another word.
One second. So you believe, Rob, me and you, right?
Yes.
Because you believe that most of the immigrants that are going through the border are rapists.
No.
That's what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that.
So why do
He didn't
you
say
defend a
most.
statement like that if not racism?
Trump's being slightly hyperbolic, but talking about something that is ignored by people on the other side of the ledger. That's a whole huge problem. For example, let me finish. Amnesty International said 1/3 of women that try to cross the southern border are raped. It's the numbers are something like 1/4 of children are sexually trafficked to come across. There is a huge problem. What he's making is this point, which is when these countries intentionally send people, right? They're not sending good people. They're sending undesirable people, criminals, rapists. He talks about mentally ill. Is Trump bigoted against the mentally ill because he's constantly said they're opening up the insane asylums and sending people here? No, it's just sort of the way Trump talks. It doesn't exhibit any expression whatsoever of his feelings towards people that are mentally ill. And again, what you're doing is you're taking the sort of bait that we've seen of the people. It's like, I bet you also believe that he made fun of a reporter that had cerebral.
Absolutely, there's video on it.
Right.
He did yes.
Right. Did you just make fun of that guy too?
Absolutely.
So you're making fun of that reporter?
Absolutely.
So what's your criticism?
Rob, I'm not running from shit. Everybody can get smoked from Fetty. The disabled, the black, the white, the tall, the short, the fat, the woman. I will admit him. I'm mocking the it's me mocking the disabled. Can you admit that now?
No.
Can you say with me?
Okay, let's say I did that when referencing that guy, and let's say I did that when referencing you, and let's say I did that when referencing Jake. Is that still me making fun of that guy's disability, or is that something that I'm prone to do anytime I'm making fun of someone?
I never saw him do it before.
Well, he did it. So if I could show you, so just to be clear, if I could show you clips of him doing that exact reaction to people that aren't disabled, then you would admit that that's not him making fun of that person for being disabled.
No, because there will be the same thing as when Musk did the Roman salute, and people going to find clips of Democrats doing something that is very similar. Like, that's not the same thing. Respectfully, it was a gesture that was repeated twice. If he did it once, I will give.
Yeah, these lefties, like these libtards, like they they're so charitable when it comes to, like, people that aren't Trump or Elon Musk or anyone that works in the Trump administration or whatever. Like, they're so charitable to people who are not them. But when it comes to the Trump administration, oh no, they have to take the worst charitability, right? Like the worst possibility that what they're doing is actually they have evil intent by that. And even when you say, well, this is what he actually said, they go, oh, well, it's dog whistles. It's dog whistles. Like, they can't just admit that they're wrong, like Fatty just can't say, oh shit, I actually got that wrong. I got the facts wrong. I was misled. I was lied to. They can't. They have to double and triple down. Like, they really, I don't know what it is. They're really married to the fact that Orange Man bad.
I don't, to be honest, I don't care. But no one
does.
No, but Rob, the proof that actually he did something that he shouldn't is every time I'm on these panels with these people and they say that he did nothing wrong, I says, go ahead, Rob, do it. If he didn't do nothing wrong,
my heart is out to you.
Hey,
me too, man. Heart goes out.
Okay, now what? Now you admit you're wrong?
Hey, no. This is going this is going to go for members only.
Why? I didn't do a Nazi salute. I completely disavow Nazis. I probably debated white supremacists far more than you have.
Rob,
far more successful.
I'm familiar with your work, Rob.
Okay.
Like, nobody on this conversation, I'm going to put that on you. And there's the thing, I'm not a race hustler, right? I just found, like, the initial statement that you made.
Hustler?
I was really curious about it. You kind of explain whatever you have going on. So if I'll concede, okay, I'm learning here. I'll concede that you are right. Can I?
I'll take the win. You can go to another topic then if you want. That's fine.
Okay. And this one is actually more problematic in my opinion.
Okay.
Right? And
I'm having fun, by the way. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
This is a great fucking. This is a good dude. You guys, I'm glad I put you all together because this is amazing. Go ahead, Patty.
And by the way, shout out to the Untouchables. I truly appreciate you, but we're going to close the stream on our side, and everybody is going to jail. There's almost 100 people on our side. Okay. So we're going to close the stream. The link, I'm going to drop the link for Jake. Jake is being extremely nice to us. So please go ahead and come to this side. The redirect is on too. So please come to this side. I'm going to close the stream right now because this one I actually am curious about. Why did you say that? Sure. But you're going to explain me absolutely. So Untouchables, I appreciate you signing out. Peace.
Shout out to the Untouchable crew. Thank you so much, Fatty, for the redirection, man. I appreciate you.
And they better go over to Jake so they can hear my answer. So.
And by the way, go follow Rob too, because he's pinned on.
All right. Well, we all get the point, man. You know, Fatty, he's another one with TDS, you know. Every time, like when Donald Trump says something, he has to take the worst interpretation of it. But when anyone else says something, well, that's when he's able to give the benefit of a doubt. Like, well, maybe they meant this, or maybe they meant that. And it all comes from this fact that Fatty and all these other TDS people, they really feel like Donald Trump is a racist, sexist, homophobe, transphobe, xenophobe, Islamophobe, every phobe that you could think of. That's Donald Trump. That's what Fatty and all these TDS infected individuals really believe of Donald Trump and the administration. So, of course, anything Donald Trump says or does, it's racist, it's bad, it's terrible, it's the worst. Even when he's not saying something, well, it's still a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle. When will these people just, I don't understand. Why can't they just accept that they were wrong about things? Why can't they just understand that? Why can't they just accept that they were lied to by the media? The media lies about a lot of things. Why can't they just admit that they were lied to? That they were fed a narrative and they bought it hook, line, and sinker? Is because they don't want to feel stupid? Like, what is it? What's going on here? What do you guys think it is? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Give this video a like if you liked it. And if you really liked it, subscribe to my channel too. That'll help me out a lot. Also, leave me a super thanks if you really liked it too. If you want to see more content like this, I got a bunch of playlists on the screen that I think you'll enjoy. I also have a link to the full debate down below in the description that I also think that you could click on if you want to watch the whole thing.